In this video, we're going to talk about weighted average. So imagine you're playing the stock market. At this time here, let's say the price of one share is $10, and then you're going to buy 3 shares, and then 6 months later, the price is, let's say, $15, and you're going to buy 7 shares, and then another 6 months later, it's really expensive, for let's say $40, okay, $40, and you're going to buy 30 shares. So what would be the average price of each share? You see, bear in mind that when it was expensive, you bought a great deal of shares. You bought quite a lot of shares. When it was cheap, when it was in the cheap region, you did buy some, but not many. So the average price of each share would be, well, it would skew towards the expensive side. So here, expensive side. Hang on. So here is expensive, here is cheap. So, but bear in mind that you bought a lot of expensive shares here. So the average price would skew towards the expensive side. So it would skew towards the expensive side because you've bought a lot of expensive shares, even though you did buy some cheap shares. But this here, you're skewing your average price towards the expensive side. So the average price. So if someone asked you what would be the average price that you paid for each share, the average would be an amount in dollars, would be something, an amount in dollars over one share. Okay, over one share. So the average price that you paid for the average price would be a dollar amount, which is the price over one share. So the average amount so looking back here, the average amount, the average price would be the total amount that you paid for all the shares, and then divided by the number of shares. So hang on. So the average amount would be the total amount that you spent for all the shares divided by the number of shares. That will then give you an amount in dollars over 1 for one share. Okay, so when you do, so the average price would be the total amount spent divided by the number of shares. So hang on. So looking at this here, let's say at this time the price is this, the price is this, and the price is this. You're going to buy a weighted amount, let's say W1 number of shares at $10, W2 at $15, W3 at $40. Then the average price would be the total amount that you spent divided by the number of shares, and then the answer would be something for one share, So and that something is really the amount in dollars. So the average so if you spent a lot, if you bought a lot of shares when it was expensive, you're skewing your average towards the expensive side. If you spent a lot, let's say 700 shares when it was cheap, and only, let's say, 7 and 3 here, then you're skewing your average price towards the cheap end. Okay, so it does depend on your weight here. You're weighting it towards one side. So this here is the in the discrete setting. When you look at it in the continuous setting here, so the average price would be really you summing up all that you spent here divided by all the shares that the number of shares that you bought. So this here is your weighted. So the average price is really you working out the whole amount divided by the number, in our case, the number of shares. Okay, so the average is given by this.